Good morning, all. Now we'll see how to use a defibrillator. So we have discussed various parts of defibrillator. As we know, these are both the paddles will be there. So one you should keep over the apex of the heart and one over the right sternal border. So these are the two places where you need to keep the paddles. So these are the two paddles, and you will have a monitoring area like this where all the heart rhythm will be shown here, and you have a switch on and switch off, and you will also have a knob to turn around where you can select the joules of your energy, how much ever joules you wanted. And again you have certain switch here. This is actually for selecting the lead, to improving the sensitivity. Sensitivity means size of the lead, size of the ECG. You can increase by putting the sensitivity button, and again you have an alarm switch. So these are the common parts of a defibrillator. And again, as we mentioned before, you will have an, if you want to use it for a pediatric patient, there is a pediatric paddle also. So this is how you need to remove it. So every defibrillator will have this. This is a biphasic defibrillator. So you can just see, you can just put this button on and you can just release it. So this will be a pediatric paddle. So you have a pediatric paddle, you have an adult paddle. So it will be available in the same machine. And most importantly, when you want to use the defibrillator, as we discussed, the defibrillator can be used for multiple scenarios. The most important scenario where we use a defibrillator in case of a cardiac arrest, when you see a shockable rhythm like ventricular tachycardia or ventricular fibrillation, that is the time you need to use your defibrillator. And when you use that machine for that purpose during cardiac arrest, we will call it as defibrillation. So it's a fixed amount of energy and you are delivering it directly over the chest wall. That is one paddle over the right sternal border and one over the apex, and you are delivering the energy. So that is one way of using your defibrillator. So that is for your defibrillation. The next thing is for something called as cardioversion. Cardioversion is again an unstable tachycardia. Is that the patient is not in cardiac arrest, but the patient is having an unstable rhythm, unstable tachycardia. So where you want to bring back the heart to normal rhythm, you have to decrease the rate. That scenario also you can use the defibrillator. And finally, when you want to monitor the patient, just for a continuous cardiac monitoring, whether the patient is going to develop any arrhythmia, whether there is an atrial fibrillation or anything, you want to have a continuous monitoring also, you can use a defibrillator. So again, how to connect your defibrillator for monitoring purpose? You have three leads like this. You have the red, yellow and the green. So red need to be connected over the right, yellow over the left, and green over the apex. So this is a three lead position that you need to remember: red, yellow and green. So when you connect this to the defibrillator, so the defibrillator will give you a rhythm. So that is how it functions. So you have to red, yellow and green, remember this. And certain times if you are missing this code, you are not able to find this, somebody has misplaced this, you are not able to get this thing. So what you can do at that time, again you can switch on the defibrillator. As I have shown a lead button here, you can press the lead button. So lead button is showing aux now and lead button is showing paddle. So once it comes to the paddle, what you can do, you can just take out the paddles and just keep it over the patient's chest. One over the sternum and one over the apex. That itself will give you a rhythm. See, it's a mannequin. So you are able to see some rhythm here. So if you can use the paddles also to analyze the rhythm. If you don't get this cable to connect and you doesn't know how to connect, you can also use the paddle and you can see the rhythm. So that is the use of the paddle as your rhythm analyzer. So the next thing is that once the patient is unstable, or you have decided that this patient needs a defibrillation. Defibrillation means the patient is in cardiac arrest. It can be either ventricular tachycardia or ventricular fibrillation. You need to deliver the shock to the patient. So how to apply it? So that is the next most crucial point. So the amount of energy that you need to select. So somebody will be doing CPR to the patient might be intubated, there will be a lot of people in and around. So the first most important thing is that you have to recognize that it is a shockable rhythm. So at the time of rhythm check, you have to see whether it is a shockable or a non-shockable rhythm. As we described, VT and VF is a shockable rhythm. So what we need to do, we need to deliver the shock during the pausing of your CPR. Once you recognize that it is a shockable rhythm, you have to prepare for your defibrillation, and as soon as possible you should deliver the first shock. Now coming to the joules of energy, as I told before, this is a biphasic defibrillator, so there is no confusion for a biphasic defibrillator. You can use 200 joules of energy. If you have any doubt in mind, okay, I don't remember exactly what is the dose, just select the maximum dose what is available in your defibrillator. If you have any doubt in your mind, use the maximum available dose. So in this machine it is 270 joules, so you can just go ahead and use the maximum joules in your defibrillator, and you can select that and you can deliver the energy. So as I told, you have the one to keep over the sternum and one over the apex. Now let's see how to go about your giving your defibrillation. For the most important thing, you have recognized that it is a cardiac arrest, and the cardiac arrest, in the cardiac arrest it is a shockable rhythm. Now okay, this is a shockable rhythm, I need to deliver the shock. So that reason, what you need to do, first of all you have to make sure that the machine is switched on. So once the machine is switched on, you will see that whether it's a shockable or a non-shockable. We will show you the shockable and non-shockable rhythm in the coming sessions. So whether to see whether it's a shockable or a non-shockable rhythm. Okay, now I am finding it's a shockable rhythm. Now after that, what should be the next thing? I need to take the energy. So I have taken 200 joules of energy. Now what has happened? The machine have selected 200 joules, but this paddle is not charged up yet. So you have got two buttons here. We have got a charging button here, or else you have a charging button here in the machine. So either you need to charge the defibrillator by pressing the button here or pressing the button here. So once you recognize that it is a shockable rhythm, so what you need to do, you need to charge it and you need to apply jelly. So this for a mannequin, I am not applying jelly, but ideally for patients you need to apply jelly, and you have to make sure that there is good contact being made over the sternum and over the apex. That's the most important thing. Once the contact is being made, you have to shout out loud that I am clear, everybody clear. So nobody should be touching the patient, and oxygen source ideally should be cut off, and nobody should be touching the patient at that moment. If somebody is touching the patient at that moment, what will happen? There is a high chance that the patient, the other person will get electrocuted. So nobody should be touching the patient. So first thing what you have to do, you have to switch on the machine. You have recognized that it is a shockable rhythm. You have connected the leads, or by using the paddles, you have selected the paddle mode as the rhythm analyzer, and you have selected the energy as 200 joules, and you have applied jelly, adequate jelly, that is most important, adequate jelly you have applied, and one paddle you need to keep it over the right. So it is written here, you can see it is sternum, it is written. So right side of the sternum and apex you need to keep, and you have to make sure that there is good contact. You can see some 3 light dots here. So if the contact is good, it will come to the top, it will be green. If it is not good, it will be red here. So these are the light sources that you need to see, and make sure that you are having adequate contact, and shout out loud that I am clear, everybody clear, and nobody should be touching the patient during that point, and possible stop the oxygen source. And there will be 2 buttons here. You can see the 2 buttons here, one button here and one button, and this is a charge button that I have been mentioning. Also there is a charge button here. So you charge the device, apply it, and deliver the shock. Soon after you deliver the shock, you initiate your CPR. So that is in your cardiac arrest. So that is regarding your defibrillation. So how long you need to continue this defibrillation? Until and unless you are having a shockable rhythm, you need to continue. And also you need to think about other drugs like amiodarone. After second shock, you need to load your amiodarone and keep it ready, and after that you need to deliver the amiodarone after the third shock. So that is your ACLS guideline. So what you need to remember is that you need to use your defibrillator in a scenario where it is a cardiac arrest and it is a shockable rhythm. You have to use it like what I have mentioned. So first of all, what you have to do, you have to recognize that it is a cardiac arrest. You have initiated the CPR. You are connected to the monitor, red, yellow and green, you are connected, or using the paddles you have analyzed the rhythm, and after that what you have to do, you have to see that it is a shockable rhythm. Okay, now it's a shockable rhythm, you haven't doubt in mind whether it is 200, 150, 270, no doubt, just take the maximum joules whatever is available in the machine and just go ahead and defibrillate. Before defibrillation, what you need to check is that you have to, first of all, you have to make sure that the machine, the paddle is charged. So you have to press the charge button here or the charge button here. Then the next thing what you have to do is that you have to apply jelly. I have not shown a jelly here, but you need to apply jelly and you need to keep it very good contact has to be there. The green light has to be there. There are different models. Different models will show different contacts, but routinely there will be a color indicator over to show the contact. So that indicator has to come up, and you need to deliver the shock. And before delivering the shock, we have to make sure that you are not touching the patient. No one else is touching the patient, and everybody is clear that you literally need to shout. I am not just saying it. You need to shout, because other person will be thinking something else in the mind, and he will be resuscitating patient, and he will be touching. Maybe he's putting an IV line at that time. This is happening. So there should not be any confusion regarding that. You should be shouting and you should be delivering the shock. So that is regarding your defibrillation. And again, there is one more thing that I just need to show you. There is something called as an disposable paddles like this. Okay, sometimes if the patient is in a prone position, it's a prone ventilation patient, so you need to show that, and you can use this adhesive paddles. So again, we can apply one over here, one over the right side, and one over the left side. So that is the adhesive paddle. If it is available, you can disconnect and connect to this area, and it will work as an adhesive paddle. Hope this was useful to you. Thank you.